Hello, everyone. Today, for the podcast, we have with us Uma, and she was a engineer, software engineer, has worked in the software industry for more than 5 years, and now she has transitioned as a pranayama and a yogasana teacher. And let's just call her so that we can, take this interaction further. Yeah. Hi, Uma.
Hello, Kavita. Thanks for
Nice.
having me.
Nice to have you here. Like for the viewers, I have also learned or done my learning of Yogasana for almost a year. And she's also a yoga therapist. And last year, when I had some back issues, also I had consulted her, and it really helped me. And so, amongst when I was thinking of people for this podcast, so she was on the list, and that's how after all the coaches, now I'm trying to shift to people who are shifted from one particular career to the other, and this is not this is not like a very easy path to go to, like transitioning from one to other. So I just wanted to tap into the minds of people who have done this journey to understand, so even if somebody else wants to take this step, it becomes easy for them to learn from others journey. Yeah, so Uma, can you first just share how your career trajectory has been, and what motivated you to shift, and what's the new avatar that you are in?
Okay. So, hello everyone. Thank you, Kavita, for having me here. It, it gives me a lot of joy. It's echoing. Okay. So, thank you for having me, and it gives me like a great joy to share my story here because I feel that opportunities are always available. And since our biggest uh, path in this, the biggest, like experience in this life is to find out what we want to do. So we are always at liberty to change whatever we want to do. Okay? It is
Hmm.
actually, we do have the freedom. We just think that just because I did engineering or I did, like an MBBS or something, I just have to stick to the same path. It need not be. We can always change. And you bringing out this concept, okay, is actually a great inspiration for youngsters also to not stick to one particular profession just because they are forced to do it. They can always
Hmm.
look at other opportunities and do things that they really love, do things from the heart, like, and then their work will not feel like work. It'll be like a joyful experience every day.
Very,
So
very true.
my
Yeah.
my journey started after school, I went into engineering, and because I think I was so keen on becoming an engineer. I don't know from where it came when I was very young. So I think I wanted to be an engineer. So I joined engineering, and then I took up a job. But I started as an hardware engineer. So we were doing hardware design kits for engineering colleges. So like I went into direct research R&D where I can design those like kits. They call it as microprocessor kits.
Mhm.
And while I was working with them, I realized that my love for microprocessor programming was more than designing the hardware part. So I
Okay.
said slowly I was moving towards software programming, microprocessor programming. So I left my job and then I joined the course like AppTech or something, like where I did all
Mhm.
my C and Unix and Oracle and everything. I was so fascinated by C. Even now, I'm very fascinated by C language. And
Okay.
and then I went on to become a software programmer. I absolutely enjoyed that stint. I was like, because I moved on to C++ programming also. So it's like more advanced, and I really enjoyed that work there. I think when I conceived my daughter is when I decided I wanted to take a break because I want to be a mother. I wanted to be there for my daughter. I wanted
Mhm.
to enjoy all the things that she was doing as a kid, and like that, I nicely took a break of almost 18 years like that. So till
Wow.
she went to college. I think the year she went to college was, again, I look back at myself and said, okay, what can I do now? Of course, I have done so many things in between. I have touched upon all kinds of home business, okay, Tupperware, Amway, name it, I have done it like that.
Okay.
And of course,
Okay.
and of course, I have also done my, like a lot of baking. I was like actually doing a very good business, baking, home baking business. I was teaching baking, and for kids, for even for women, I used to conduct workshops. So I have done all those things. It was a very enjoyable experience. Nothing, I'm not regretting anything there. But all those things I absolutely love doing. And I think when my daughter joined college was exactly the same time my husband started his own food manufacturing unit.
Okay.
And he asked me, would you like to join along with me? I can help me out. I said, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing anything here. Okay, let me also come and be with you. And I went there, and I was like, also, I was doing things along with him. Yes, that was also a nice experience and a lot of learning there. And everything changed in the year 2018 for me. I
Okay.
was going through menopause, and my husband he fell sick. Actually, he went into a very severe bacterial infection in his leg, in his right leg.
Mm-hmm.
They it's called as necrotizing fasciitis, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yes. Yes.
so anyway, he was like very sick for like more than 3 months. Okay, like, and we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that whether he could walk using that leg. He lost a lot of mobility in that leg, and
Mm-hmm.
of course thankfully they didn't amputate him, so his leg is there. But he is a very very strong-willed person. So he made
Mm-hmm.
sure that he used his leg to walk and even to drive also, like, so he was that way he's very inspiring and all.
Mm-hmm.
And when I think he also went through so many things, lying down in the hospital, not knowing what to do. So
Mm-hmm.
when we brought him back home, he asked me this question: if I had passed away, would you have continued the business? And that question really shook me up, because first 2 3 days I couldn't sleep, because that he even thought of, like, passing away and something like that, where while I had not thought of anything like that when he was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really, really thought about it. Okay, like, why he asked such a question, and in such a scenario, what would I have done? And then I came to a lot of understanding, lot of realization that the work that I was doing with my husband in his business, yes, it was okay, but I realized that it was not something that I would really continue to do by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that it was not my calling. I understood that I have to look out for something else which can give me deep happiness.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, I didn't know what to do, but that understanding itself was like a big shift in me. I felt much lighter. I didn't know that, okay, this understanding is super super good for me. So where do I go from here? I didn't know, but
Okay.
I just kept moving on. Like, I think 2 3 months down the line, I wanted to really practice yoga, because I have taken yoga classes as a student for I
Mm-hmm.
think from 2005 or something, like, so for already 10 10 12 15 years I was
Everything.
practicing yoga as a student. So
Mm-hmm.
again, I looked out for a teacher, because I was having a lot of menopausal issues, and I really wanted to, like, have a good yoga teacher to guide me through that stage of mine. So I went, and I met this teacher of mine, and she was, I think, all credit to her, because she really convinced me to take up the teacher training program itself, which was going to start in 1 week. I said, in
Mm-hmm.
1 week, how can I decide? And so many things were going on in my mind. And exactly tomorrow, if the tomorrow the course is going to start, one day before I called and confirmed to her. I don't know what made me say yes. I said, okay, ma'am, I'll take this course. And it was like 2 days a week I have to attend the classes. So I told my husband, okay, only 2 days I have to go. All the other days I'll come to work. I'll come to the office and all. So that's how my journey started as a teacher training program, like in the yoga teacher training program.
Teacher. Mm.
And the biggest thing that happened there was one of the subjects, was Yoga Sutra for us. Okay, so we have to
Mhm.
learn the text, the shlokas, and the meanings also. And Yoga Sutra started healing me in so beautifully. Like, I was confused about a lot of things in life at that time, but I understood that understanding oneself, okay, Yoga Sutra was teaching all those things subtly for me, and I was able to heal myself slowly and gently. It has taken a lot of time, but I give full credit to whatever I have learned from my sir, with respect to Yoga Sutra. So there began my journey as a yoga teacher. So, and when I completed the yoga teacher training program, was the time Corona started. So
Mhm.
I would have done in-person classes for like a month or so. That's all. And Corona happened, and I didn't know what to do. And I was just sitting quietly. And one of my friend called and asked me, "Can you teach me something? Because I'm too stressed out.
Mhm.
Sitting at home, children at home, husband at home. Every work is on my head. I don't know what to do. Can you teach me something?" And that's how I started my pranayama class. I started with 6 people, and that was the first. I just told that, okay, we'll do a quick short course for 15 days. That's all we started with. But
Mhm.
with the grace of God,
It's been
it's been
continuing.
going on. Yes, from
Yeah.
2020 April, it's been still going on. Yes.
Yeah, yes. And I've experienced the class. It's really good.
Yeah.
Like in between for me also, almost few months, like, I was very regular with your pranayam classes and really helped me in a lot of ways. And in fact, the learnings at that time, it was so much that even now, if I suddenly feel a bit of stress or suddenly something else, some thought loop starts happening or something, I'll just remember your voice and say, "Get into your body, Kavita. Take a deep breath." That kind of thing. So that has
Oh,
really helped me. Yeah. And okay, so you thank you for sharing your journey. And what struck me was that I sometimes feel like this, like people who are interested in doing something or the other, right? They keep exploring, right? So you had worked for 5 years, then you took a break. You took a very conscious break to
yes.
enjoy motherhood. And still, maybe at different stages, you like you said, you have explored many avenues of working, or trying to do something other than the regular life, right? And so I just felt one thing is there, some people have that thing, now I want to do something else and do something more, that kind of thing. And and then now you are in the breath work teaching, pranayam and yogasana teaching. So I just wanted to know, how did you feel, or how did you get to know that this is what is my calling? Like, what was the difference between all your other experiences, like when you were working? I knowing you, I know that you would have enjoyed everything, but
Yes.
how did you even get to know, or how did you feel the difference that this is what I want to do, like really enjoying this, and others were just a part of the journey? You want to think back and answer?
Yes, yes, yes. That's actually a very good point. Because I have also pondered on this a lot. When I became a yoga teacher, or asana practice teacher, I used to think, is this the right thing that I'm doing? Okay. So there is one what to say, in one way which I think or measure. Okay. What am I doing? Is this the right one? Is I have felt that I am continuously learning, and I'm continuously happy
Hmm.
when I'm doing this. Okay, so whether I feel that, even though I am teaching, I feel that the students who are coming, they are helping me to learn. So I'm learning every day, and I'm trying to present. Breath is going to be only one breath. Okay, so you inhale, you exhale. How can you make it more interesting? How can you make person sit every day for half an hour, like in a class, guided class, and still not feel, oh my God, is she going to do the same class today also? I'm so bored. Instead of that, how can I bring the class interesting to the person who's attending? And so I'm learning there. Okay. And also I feel that it is also my practice time. Okay. Like, so when I'm guiding them, I'm also learning, I'm also practicing. And I feel that there is a sense of happiness within me, which I have not felt before.
Mhm.
I always used to feel when I used to do my other work or anything, when I was doing my baking or something. After I complete the work, maybe yes, I'm happy that people like the cake or anything, but I used to feel exhausted.
Mhm.
I would say, okay, now for 2 days I'm not going to take any more work.
Okay.
But here I look forward to it. Okay, like I look forward to the class, I look forward to meeting people. I feel that it is consistently giving me happiness. And that is precisely what even Yoga Sutra says. If your state of mind is happiness, like whatever you get out of whatever job you're doing, if your state of mind is happiness, then you go for it again and again and again, because you like that experience, so you would like to go for it again. And that's what is actually helping me to go through this, like as a teacher, I'm going through this. There's one more point which I would like to point out here is, okay, I think when I was when I was in kindergarten. Okay, I have this, when I did my inner child healing and all, I got this image of myself. When I remember it now, like where we used to stay in that house, my dad has painted black paint on a wall, and I used to be the teacher there then.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I played that I am the teacher for a long time. I think till the whole of kindergarten I've done that. But I don't know how it just went off when I wanted to study engineering or something. I don't know where I lost that being a teacher. But
Mhm.
now, like when I'm back here, I think I've gone one full cycle here, there, and all, and I'm back here, and I'm actually able to connect with the child in me who actually told the right thing to do when I was just 3 or 4 years old. That, okay, this is your life journey. You have to be a teacher, and I'm here now. I'm happy. I think that's the happiness quotient that keeps me going.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing it. Conventionally, how many people, or usually people think of happiness is, I'll let me get this and then I'll be happy. Let me do this and then I'll be happy. That kind of thing. But the sharing that you brought out is that you are happy in the process of doing what you're doing, right? So that is such an important point that you brought out. And yeah, so the next thing that I was going to ask you was, yeah, so the reasons for your shift, you already mentioned that it was like a gradual thing. And did you, with all these things, the experiments that you were doing and all, did you have at any point, or was it like a very gradual progression? Or how to ask you this, in the, like, in the classes or in the yoga classes that you were learning as a teacher, did you get that feeling that this is what it is and I want to do it? Or was it, did you think about it, that is, will this be my, like, I would love to do this as a career? How was it? Like, was it a thought? Was it a very gradual uh, thing, or was it very sudden?
I would say it was very gradual. I never expected anything out of it when I started. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, if those 5 to 6 friends of mine who joined, trusting my, my inputs as a yoga teacher, I actually started with basic pranayama exercises for them. And within a month, all of them got back to me, and within that 15 days, actually, they all got back to me and said, "Please continue, please don't stop. We are having we're actually very happy with this, because I had
Mhm.
planned only for a 15-day course there." Then I was
Mhm.
like, okay, what am I doing? I am only asking them to, okay, sit, breathe now, do this count, do that count, maybe do some chanting. This is all we were doing in that half an hour, and we were actually repeating most of the exercises every day.
Mhm.
And if people can find so much of relief, and because for me it was my first stint as an online teacher, I was learning Zoom there. I was struggling how to do like online classes. And when people came back and told me this is really good for us, okay, like we are actually feeling so happy and calm now, please continue. Then it made me think, okay, something is happening here, but I was not. It was like how my teachers had seen the benefits of asana and pranayama, which I have studied in textbooks, like, okay, all these are benefits of asana, all these are benefits of pranayama. I was starting to hear them in reality for the first time, and that too, it was happening over online classes, and I was very, very happy and totally stumped also. So I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, let me continue. And I never had any intention of even doing any asana class. I was just okay, because I was thinking that asana classes has to be done only in person. I never
Mm-hmm.
thought, okay, we can do an online asana practice class and all. It never occurred to me. But when somebody asked me over, I think after 6 months or something, somebody asked me, okay, aren't you an asana practice teacher? Why don't you teach asana for me? I said, okay, let me try. So I started with only two people. So only two people on my screen. So I was able to concentrate more. And it's a big art to understand body postures and movements online than in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's very different. Like, in person, it's very different. Online it's very different. So I had to like tell myself, okay, if I'm going to teach online, I better draw my boundaries, like, what asanas will I teach. So I tell everybody, these are the asanas that are possible to teach in online, so that the person who's learning is also not hurt or anything in the process, because there
Mm-hmm.
is no guidance of a teacher standing next to the person. So I learned certain things, what can be done online and what cannot be done online. So I accepted them all. Okay, this is where I am right now, and I'm going to go through this and see how it goes. But when I was doing this after I started this asana practice class only, I understood that many days, not many days, a few days, if the students come, okay, I slept on my shoulder, or I have a headache, or I have menstrual cramps. When they used to come like that, we were not able to do the regular asanas. Then I was thinking, okay, what should I teach them now? Like, because they are having some discomfort in their body, does it mean that they should not practice? No, it is not at all like that. You can practice asana when, so you go around the discomfort, or you treat the discomfort with your asana and then work on your body. And that is precisely when my sir also started his yoga chikitsa course, which is yoga for therapy. So
Therapy.
therapeutic yoga. Yes. So we learn how to deal with certain discomforts in the body, and also certain mental discomforts. So whatever is it, so how to deal it with asanas, pranama, meditation, the dhyana, and other things. So we have tratakam and all those things, everything put together. So we use all these techniques and use it for a person who has discomfort also. So all these things, it just happened one after the other gradually. Nothing. I didn't plan my trajectory this way at all. And because I didn't know what was in store for me. But
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest plus of going in the path of yoga is I have learned to accept whatever is coming my way. If this is coming, okay, let me try this out. Or if this is not there, also, I think, okay, I think I'll learn something else and do something else.
Yeah. So immediately, like what happens many a time, many of us learn a few things, but then we have that hesitation, like, am I really ready to, teach
Yeah.
somebody else? So did you face any such thing, or you started off after learning, or, what was that like? What was that mind space like? Did you have any self-doubt or any anxiety, like what would I do, that kind of thing? Or you just thought, let me just do it one day at a time?
Actually, I started strong. Okay, I didn't have any hesitation, but I did have self doubts. Like, I think, what do they call it? Imposter syndrome,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. So I did have it in the for some time, like, because, like, I am this I'm when I'm a student, okay, like when I go and I'm a student of asana. So if my teacher is teaching some classes, I'll make sure that I attend every class. Okay, I will never miss any class. I am that kind of a student. Okay, I am like that, or basically I'm like that. I
Mhm.
don't miss classes. I try to be there. And if I'm forced to miss a class because of other reasons, I make sure I inform in advance, and I'll get the notes from somebody else, and I'll write them, I'll practice them. Like I do all those background work so that next class I'm again back on track. That's
Mhm.
that's basically how I am. So when students joined classes, and suddenly, like they'll just take a break without informing for any personal reason. Okay, so it's not that each one is an adult, like they can do the whatever they want to do. And those, initially I used to take it upon myself. I used to think maybe I was not doing a good job, and that is why they have
Mhm.
dropped out of class, or they want to take a break. Maybe they are looking for some other yoga teacher. Maybe I am not a good enough person to teach them. All these thoughts used to come in my mind. And then slowly, I think I started accepting myself. And there is this, again, Yoga Sutra is coming to help me here. Okay, so it says that it doesn't matter how many students are there. Okay, like how many people you are teaching, even if there is only one student, you have to think in your mind that you are doing a good job of sharing your knowledge, that
Mhm.
you are doing something really good, and which is of value to others. Okay, so that is how yoga is passed on across like generations. So when you are a teacher, you have to think that I am doing something of very great value here. I am passing very good knowledge here. I am passing knowledge about body breath awareness. I'm passing knowledge about how to move your body so beautifully, so that you're like relieved from your discomforts. So when Yoga Sutra taught me all these things, again, slowly I removed all the doubts from my mind, and I was able to put myself out with confidence. Okay, if they are taking a break, it is their journey. My
Mhm.
journey is to share my knowledge to whoever is coming to me. So that, I think, it is some for 3-4 months in between I did have that phase. But again, with the guidance of Yoga Sutra, I was back on track.
Okay. And many of us, like when we start transitioning or we start a new journey or something, so there are many things that need to click in place. The house, environment, the people around us. It could be friends, relatives, family members. So how has that been for you? Like, were there any challenges, or was it more of a supportive environment? Do you want to think about that and tell me?
Yes, everyone around me were very supportive. Even
Mhm.
though I have faced lot of fun remarks. Oh, this she here is the one who's focusing on her breathing, as though we are not breathing. She here comes the one who's always breathing. Like it used to
Mhm.
be a fun remark only, but I think it was very new to everyone. Okay, like
Mhm.
everybody would have learned about thought about yoga because they would have seen people perform, like like asanas, shirasasana, sarvangasana, like like performance of yoga is what people have seen all along. And then
Yeah.
when I started teaching only pranayama first. Okay,
Mhm.
so some early mornings and all, people find me like I'm sitting all by myself. I'll be doing brahmari. I'll be like sitting quietly without talking to anyone. So people are like, what happened to you? Suddenly I'm actually, I know, like when I was very young and all, I used to wake up very late. But now it's the opposite now. I wake up very early and I sit by myself, and I don't need an alarm also sometimes to wake up. So there was a lot of changes in me. So people were coming to terms with how I'm changing or how I'm expressing myself. But hats off to, like my family, like everyone. And there's so many of my friends who supported my journey. They joined my classes. They trusted what I was, like teaching. And so many of my friends joined the classes. And I really thank each and every one of them for their support. Really, they've played a big part in my journey. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for asking that. Yes.
And apart from this, can you think of any other challenges that you would have faced? Maybe you didn't consider it as challenge, but it could have been a potential, or somebody else could face this. Can you think of something like that?
With respect to teaching,
With respect to, yeah, shifting to teaching or doing this online, or any other challenges that you faced?
I don't think that I faced any challenge like that. But one thing that I would like to mention here is when we did your therapeutic yoga chikitsa course, so we were taught about certain discomforts, and
Mhm.
so like, and when you actually start meeting people, it is not like like I think when you do medicine, I think you have like you have a guided 1 year, like under your mentor,
Yeah,
you stay
yeah,
and you learn all the different types of like discomforts and how to deal with
yeah.
it. But here the mentoring will happen, like only as and when I face a certain people or certain discomforts. So
Mhm.
when I faced so sometimes initially it was little bit challenging for me, like so when I met someone about I was not aware of what they were going through, like it was a very new discomfort in the, even the in the medicine. And so I had to understand it, and then I had to like ask my teacher for guidance. So there were certain issues like that. For every time I used to ask for guidance, and then I will report back to the person who's going through the therapy. But I think it was like around 3 to 4 months, like, and like sir actually was very helpful, like he guided me in the right direction to like help me understand so how to go about, okay, this whole thing, like like it's not possible for us to learn all the issues of human body can face and then go into therapy. So
Mm,
you can like start, and like how to deal with it as and when it comes, like when new issue comes up, how do you address it? So for us everything is like prana, like our energy. So we work with the prana of our body, and how to use that prana to address the issue. So there was a beautiful understanding for me. Yes, I did have little like I would say hiccup, very small hiccup to in how to apply the therapeutic yoga which I had learned in, like when people came in, took a little bit of 3 to 4 months to like become comfortable, and like give the right solution, or like a right guidance to the person who came in. It did take little time there, that I felt as a challenge, but yes, that's how we learn and grow. Yes.
Uh, have any beliefs of yours shifted, like very drastically shifted? Maybe earlier you used to believe something about, say, your, if at all, like we could call this your entrepreneurial journey. So has anything shifted from what you used to believe earlier to now, or what is it like? How has that been?
Absolutely, I have shifted in so many ways. One thing is, um, when I was a kid and all, I think I like there was lot of like lot of spirituality at home, okay, like of course we the rituals and the based on our religion, everything was there at home and we were doing it. But in between, I think I moved out, like I was questioning myself. I was questioning what is this presence of this higher energy, like what is it doing here, like I was questioning a lot of things. I feel that I moved out of that spiritual connection for some time, and then now I am back, and like stable, grounded, like very spiritually connected. So that was one important change in me that I have felt, like I was there with that is without understanding what spirituality was all about, was when my younger age, and I consciously went out, and then now I'm back here. I believe in my like higher energy. I believe in spirituality, and I am this person now. And there's one more important change I would see in myself is when I was the like working as an engineer, like software programming and all. So there was only ones and zeros. Okay, this is very beautiful, which I always tell myself. So I was like only yes or no, black or white, right or wrong. I was like that. Only two extremes I knew, and I just didn't believe in anything that was there in between. I never believed the grace. But now, I have come to the understanding of how beautiful the grays are between the black and the white, and how each and every hue of human life, like how beautiful it is. And no one can be this either black or white. Everyone is filled with all these hues, and I apply that to life and people, and I'm able to understand them because of the colors that they represent. So I now, like that huge shift for me, like from being an engineer to this works out, this doesn't work. There is no in between. But here, everything is there. It works, it doesn't work, and there is in between also stages is also there. So it's a beautiful shift for me that way. Yes, what a beautiful um, complex structure is this. Creation is this human body, and how we can work with it. It has really been an inspiring journey that way for me.
Yeah. That's so nice for you to have come to know of that. Yeah, especially we, even in a younger ages, we tend to have these very strong goods and bads. Now we keep saying this is good, this is bad, and that somehow, when you start learning something new, and especially you have learned and you're working, understood, or at least made an effort to learn the Yoga Sutras, and take guidance from them, and then you would understand much more about our life and the human body, and that's a very good grounding that you have got. What I wanted to ask you was, are there any needs of yours that you, um, internal needs, okay, like how we have, do you think, were had not been fulfilled by the other things that you had experimented with, and you are like feeling very comfortable in this journey? Can you think back about that?
Internal needs in the sense.
Needs in sense of, say, um, you know uh, uh, many things, right? We have the need for appreciation, or you know yeah, the internal desires, wants, needs, those kind of things. Anything that you felt was not there in the earlier journey, or it's there right now?
Yeah, I think I would say that for financial freedom. When
Hmm.
I was working as a software programmer, yes, I was doing good there. But I really felt the pinch when I consciously left the job. Okay, like it was a conscious decision, but I used to feel it. Oh my God, like that
Hmm.
you suddenly you feel that okay, you don't have that money, you have it, but it is not yours. Like that kind of thing. It
Hmm.
takes time, and I was like newly married when I conceived. I was just like 6 months into my marriage, and like it took a lot of understanding from me and from my husband also to like how to pool in resources and how to manage a family, because within a year, I delivered the baby, and like so many expenses, and suddenly we felt that I was like, oh, maybe I should have continued with my job, like that used to come up once in a while. But of course, when I started doing all this ad hoc businesses, okay, like sitting at home, when I used to send my daughters to play school and stuff like that, I had some time and I did all these things. It was not very very content, okay, like whatever the financial freedom that businesses were giving, it was not very content for me, I think, because I always felt okay, for the amount of work that I was putting in, I was not getting enough. That's something that
Hmm.
I had felt. But now I think I'm back on, like in my financial freedom journey. Yes, I'm happy here. I'm content here. And also, I think the shift to yoga has also helped me to understand it is not about the amount of money you make, but, like it is about enjoying this whole thing, and other things actually happen. So even when I started teaching and all, how much ever I just had 6 students, and like how much I was making, it has increased now, but like there was contentment throughout, like I could feel that I'm happy with what I'm having right now. So
Hmm.
even though I've gained financial freedom, I've also learned how to be content with what I have.
Yeah. And maybe with this, you must also be experiencing a lot of time freedom, right? Compared to
Yes.
the very restrictive times, or rather expansive times that we do when we are working elsewhere. The time freedom also must be quite
Yes.
quite good over here, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Time is, like it's, I can decide, like what I want to do, what class I want to do, when I want to do. And of course, when I make a commitment, I try to stick with it because
Yeah.
I got two, three offers as yoga teacher in a school.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't take it up because I thought, I'll be spending most of my time on travel, and there are specific time you have to be there, and I thought that this freelancing is, was much more joyful for me. It is the freedom that I get here, and I'm doing from home. Okay, like I'm teaching online. I'm home. I'm at my home. I'm just inside one room. So whatever happens at home, I'm able to manage that also, and I'm able to teach. So it's like like a very very happy space for me here.
Yeah. And okay, so another thing I would like to ask you is, if say today somebody would come to you and say, Uma, I've seen your journey, and I want to do this kind of transition. Like I'm say in a particular job or something, and I want to do this kind of transition. I want to get into something new. So, what learnings from your journey would you like to share or transfer to that person so that their learning curve is, shortened?
Okay. So I would ask them to trust their intuition. That's
Okay.
the best thing, like because no amount of guidance from me will help them going further. So maybe I will share them all the details. Okay, like okay, these are all the institute that are teaching yoga as a teacher training program. So it's happening in these institute. These are all the timings. So I may share all the information with them, but I'll always ask them, like sit quietly by yourself, take one day off, like chill out with yourself, and then ask yourself, is this what you want to do really in your life? Okay,
Hmm.
because the training program is like maybe 1 year, 1 year or 2 years depending on the institute. But what are you going to do after this? Okay, like after you learn, like would you like to teach? Or because many of my friends who learned with me, many of them are like using this teacher training program in their own ways. So
Hmm.
like one is to strengthen themselves. Okay, so because you know what you have to do as a teacher, so you apply that for yourself. So you make your own courses. So you don't go and attend a course taught by somebody else, but so you can design your own course and you can practice there. Another thing is to become a teacher and help them with help others also in the asana practice journey. So first, I think we should really understand, is this what I really want to do in my life? So I always ask everyone, please close your eyes, keep one hand over your heart, and ask yourself, is this what I want to do? So when you're convinced, then you join. So, and even otherwise, like even after doing the course, okay, if you feel that you don't want to teach, you want to like, do something out of whatever you have learned, I think you should be open to it. Don't feel that, oh, I wasted 1 year of my life by studying something and I'm not using it. No, nothing is a waste. Even what I learned in engineering is not a waste. All those I have studied in engineering are helping me in some way or other when I'm teaching here. Okay, so at least to understand what not to do. Okay, like in some way, like because a human body is not a machine. So I know what we should not do. So what we can do here. So the no, I think no knowledge is never wasted. So you apply it in different forms. That's all.
Okay, just a follow up to what you just said, to trust your intuition. So, if how would you define, or rather, how would you say is the experience of intuition versus the experience of your ego? Like sometimes when people are really frustrated and they want to do something just because they don't want to do something else. Okay, if that is the energy, and in that mind space, if somebody is trying to understand what is my intuition saying, how would you, differentiate whether it's your ego speaking or your intuition speaking? Any insights on that?
I would say like, like sometime back what I mentioned, okay, like even though I have the financial freedom right now, I'm able to feel contentment here.
Hmm.
So intuition gives us happiness and contentment.
Hmm.
It doesn't like push me. Okay, now you're doing three classes and you're earning so much, you have so much of free time, now do four more classes and you can earn more, you can put more classes, you can, like it doesn't push me to do that.
Hmm.
It helps me to stay grounded because I know, okay, this is what I'm enjoying doing. Okay, like so if I push in and bring in more classes, I know I'll be like burning out myself, and that's not good for me, and I'll miss out on my practice. I have to work on myself. I have to constantly work on myself. I need time to work with myself. It is a constant journey for me. So I'm every day I allocate so much of time for myself, so that I don't get burnt out just by teaching all the time. So intuition is when, like I'm able to enjoy, I feel content here, happy here, and it doesn't push me into like, okay, somebody's becoming a big star, they have 1 million followers on the Instagram, they are doing so many videos, they have people to make content, like it doesn't push me to go do all those things, because yoga, which from where I have learned, is not for performance, it's for understanding your own self. Okay, this is what yoga is about. I am on a journey to understand myself, and my tools are asanas, pranayama, dhyana, all these things are my tools. So how effectively am I using those tools to understand myself? So in that journey, I can stay content and happy here instead of pushing. That is intuition for me.
What are your plans? Like, are you trying to explore this journey further? Are you learning something more, or you want to do something more?
I don't know. I just had a desire to learn chanting, like the proper Vedic chanting. And so this December, I just started. My ma'am has started a class, and I've enrolled for the class. So I've just started with Vedic chanting. I don't know how the journey is going to be, but I would like to, help in spreading awareness about pranayama, like I would like more people to know about, like how you can be aware of your body and be aware of your breath, and just by being aware you can change a lot of things about your own self, and it can help you to, like feel better, become more healthier. So I want to bring in that awareness to more and more people, and that's why I started every month first Sunday one free pranayama session. Okay, like so
Mhm.
in early morning, so I do like a 45-minute session, so anybody can join in that session. So it is to, so people who don't know me as a person who's doing regular group classes also can join that free session, understand how I'm teaching, and if they are comfortable they can come for the regular practice. So this was something, that was there on my mind, like what am I doing to actually spread awareness instead of doing workshops, like where it is a paid workshop. So instead of that, if I can give something, if I can offer something to people to look into it, okay, this is what it is about, this pranayama is about, this breath work is about, or a body awareness is about. So if that can help people to, like move in the right direction, and then maybe they can enroll for classes. I felt that was a very nice step, I think which I have done. Okay, so that's actually helping me also to move forward. Maybe I don't have any great plans. I'm open for what life is going to offer me.
And any plans to learn something more in this, in pranayama or yoga, or it's like kind of done?
I don't know. I've always had, like in yoga is something that's something like, I'm very interested in learning in yoga. It is like, more deeper state of, being in one particular pose and understanding how your body works there. So it's
Mhm.
more deeply relaxing. So maybe one day when the time is right, I will enroll for in yoga. I don't know when, but it's there. That's all.
Okay. So, can you just share details of the classes that you do, like what, and about a little bit deeper about your therapeutic yoga also? Like, what does that entail? What does that include?
Okay. So therapeutic yoga is like, okay, first let me talk about therapeutic yoga because therapeutic yoga is one-on-one session. So I meet this person online on a one-on-one session, and I try to understand what the discomforts are, and we address discomforts anything from like hypertension, diabetes, or back pain, knee pain, okay, any pain, inflammation, or also like diseases because of lifestyle changes, whatever. And also people who are anxious, okay, depressed, okay, any of those things, acidity, reflux, like any other, that also. So all these can be addressed by yoga
Mhm.
along with pranayama and dhyana, and like all the other things, supportive things. So that is therapeutic yoga. So that is like like, so we'll have a call on a first, we meet and we understand each other, what is the actual discomfort and how to go about it. So the number of sessions is completely dependent on the person, so we cannot say anything like it's going to take so many sessions and all, is not
Mhm.
possible. So
Mhm.
dependent on the person, and we meet maybe depending on the person's practice. So I give a practice course or something for them to practice. So it's very important that the person like practices by themselves for at least some time, because it's important to do this practice on your own. Only then you're able to understand, okay, what she taught me and what am I doing and how it is, how am I feeling it in
Executing.
my body, and is it having any effect there. Okay, like all these things can be understood by the person only when they sit and do the practice by themselves. So we encourage them to do the practice on their own, and come back, so that we are able to gauge how they are going about in that journey. And it has worked, really. It has helped people to move ahead in life. And I'm also doing like a one-on-one session for a person who wants to improve their flexibility. Okay, they feel that they are very rigid because they have not done any movement. And when they asked for an one-on-one session, yes. And now, like, so slowly, like, so you cannot build flexibility overnight. So it takes
True.
time, and how much of practice they are doing, even though I give the inputs, how much they are practicing. So all those things matter a lot. That is about therapeutic yoga. And of course, I have pranayama classes. They are half an hour group classes. So there are two batches in the morning and one batch in the evening, India time. And
Mhm.
the class will be like like 5 to 8 minutes of simple stretches, and then there is a 20 minutes of like pranayama, where practice different breathing techniques. And then towards the end, around 5 minutes of like dhyana, in some focused dhyana, whatever different types of meditation, we follow one of them. So this happens like Monday to Friday, all through all every month, like that. So that is about pranayama classes. And asana practice classes, right now I have two batches, one in the afternoon and one in the evening. And it is mostly like around 45 minutes of asana practice. So based on, I try to bring in different asanas and different focus on different parts of the body. I try to bring in stuff like that, so that there is an all-round workout. Okay, so it's not that you're always doing forward bends or working with the abdomen. So
Mhm.
working with different parts of the body. So to make it little bit more interesting, those are. And also I do a journaling class.
Okay.
So that was one digression that happened last year. Like one friend suggested, like, why don't you start a journaling class for us? So it was just a space where we met and we just like started talking, and then it became like I suggest prompts, and we all write, all of us write, and then
Mhm.
end of the session we all try to share what we have written, whatever we feel like sharing. And
Mhm.
it's been like now going on for 1.5 years, and it's a good space where people feel very happy to share. Okay, it is like they feel heard, they feel that okay, somebody is listening to me, And this half an hour time has really helped me to understand myself also. Like those are some things that I'm hearing from people who are part of the journaling class. So I'm happy to do that also.
Nice. So you've been exploring little bit on the sides as well, right? Something
Yes.
new that comes up, especially when somebody, expresses a need for it,
Yes.
doing that. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing your journey. And it's been nice, like the past few conversations that I've had with coaches and all. It's usually, a kind of shift from one to the other, and yours had been such a, gradual progression. And and it's a typical definition of somebody who is continuously exploring to find out, what clicks for them, or to find out what their purpose is, or the calling is. And it's
Yes.
nice. And mostly when, when we tend to read, or we get to know, like, in fact nowadays, so get to know your purpose is like one cliched line everybody throws in. But then it's not that it happens like you just get to know it like that. It's such a journey, is what your your journey is just teaching me this, that it's not something that we just know it at some point of time. It is like you keep exploring, you get to know what you like to do, what you don't like to do. And yeah, thank you for sharing this journey. And it's been really helpful, Uma.
Thank you, Kavita, for having me. It's like, um, even though like I've all these experience were part of me. Like I'm very glad to like share all of them in one place. Like maybe some people knew me like when I was young and later on, and some people know me only after I started teaching yoga. But they don't know who I am basically. So I think this helps. In For others also to know, like, okay, so it's not such a bad thing to shift careers, okay, and it is not a bad thing to explore new things in life, or because we are all here to explore and experience life. So why not try this? Yeah. So thank you for having me here.
It's been a
Really.
fun conversation in the sense, with so many things that have come. I'm going to revisit the conversation and try to draw my own points of what new things I have understood. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Always nice to talk with you. Thank you.
Same
Bye.
here. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.